Hello everybody, and welcome back to, which is now part 11 of my abstract mini series. We've covered so many different subjects, and now we're coming to actually doing a painting, having done lots of amazing exercises, which if you haven't seen, all the links are below to the whole mini series. So this is the 11th, and we've got one more to go. So let's have a start on this. We're going to now actually put a painting together, having learned all the different kinds of techniques and different things that we can do with our abstract painting. We're going to pull it all together and have some fun actually painting a picture. So without further ado, let's get started. So now I've got prepared for actually diving into a painting. My process now, you might find this different, but for me, I like to do some play stuff to start, to see where I'm going, and then I like to then transfer that onto a canvas. So first of all, I've got two boards here with some white paper, just cartridge paper, and I've stuck them down to the board. I've left a border, so when I peel it off, I've got a nice feel of the picture. I've got all my tools ready of things that I might use. I've got China marker and some charcoal. I've got one of my little brushes. I've got a whole array of actual paint brushes here, a whole load of them, and I've got my lovely spatula here, which I just have them out in case I want to use them. I might not, but if I've got them at hand and the mood takes me, then I don't have to go looking for them. The other thing that I've got here, which is lovely, which is a rubber brush, which I love using, and these are, you can get these on Amazon, and they're lovely for getting, you know, some smooth edges, so I might be using that. And then I've got my palette. Now, it's important before you start to have a feel about the colours that you want to use. I'm in the blue mood today, so I'm going to be using some different blues. I've got ultramarine blue, I've got phthalo blue, I've got a turquoise blue, a cerulean blue, so I've got quite a few different blues that I'm going to use. I've also got some light green, which let's just show you here. This is a really nice sort of mid-green. I like that. I mean, I could mix it, but just for this exercise, I'm going to use the actual one from the tube. And I've got white and black. Now, I might use other colours as I go, but I want to start off with blue. I've just got that kind of feeling. So, you know, when you're beginning, as we talked about right at the beginning, is sort of to take a breath and relax and be in the zone when you start your play, and, you know, just relax into it and let yourself feel, you know, creative. I'm just going to put some marks down on here just to get myself into my right brain and feel creative. I might just also use some charcoal, and, you know, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm just going to allow it and see where I'm going to go to. But it's interesting to have an intention. You know, my intention, I love the blue. I love all the tones that it can give us. And if you remember, we're going to be talking about with tones and values and contrasts and differences. And I kind of want to feel these different tones and values of the blues, and then enhance them with some other colour, adding white to make them lighter, to tint them, and to make them darker to give them a deeper tone. But my intention is, I feel as if, because I want it in blue, my feeling is, you know, I want to sort of dive into that into, it's kind of like diving into the sea. I want to dig deep and go deep and see what happens. So that's kind of my feel, which obviously would be probably very different to yours. So as you're getting in the zone, feel what you want to express, feel how you're feeling, and then just sort of start going for it. So I'm going to take a relatively big brush here, and I'm going to start with this lovely primary blue. It's really nice, and you know, I've got these marks underneath, but I'm not worried about them. I'm just going to see where this takes me. And remember, we're looking for differences, we're looking for some different things happening. So, you know, this is a nice start, quite bold. And this is me. You know, what you might be doing is completely different. And, you know, that's really good. Remember, we're looking for your voice. This is mine. You know, I'm just going to sort of give you a demonstration of my process, how I begin and what I feel, to give you an example. And I love doing this kind of stuff, and how I start inevitably isn't how I finish. And it's always kind of interesting to see. This is a different tone of blue coming in here. You know, where it goes to once I've actually put in a background of something, which I'm going to put some black in here. It's wonderful to do. You know, you'll see the different changes. Now I'm going to change up on this. I'm going to go with a smaller brush, and again, this is a really good idea for you, to be changing the brushes, changing different tools, and seeing what might happen. I'm just playing, seeing what I might add, take away, and I'm already getting some contrast, although I've only just started. I'm going to build some contrasts in as we go, and just to see what might happen. Let me see, I want to put something in here. And I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm not really thinking about it too much. I just want to enjoy the process, see what happens really. And I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to get my scraper. I'm going to scrape into here, get some effects. Really, I just want to get things on the paper that give me a nice start off to exploring it and seeing what else might happen. And then I'll change it up again. What I'd like to do, I've actually got a little bit of this purple, which I might like to use here. I might go lighter with it, put some different contrast in here. Let's come down here with it too. Balance it up. I'm just kind of playing, seeing what might go where. I feel like I'm going to put some white, mix a bit of white in here, which is going grey, which is fine. And I'm just kind of going to enjoy the process of filling the paper with some of the colours that I like. Got some white up here. And some of the things might come through from underneath. I don't worry about that at all. You know, what will happen will happen. I'm going to put some purple in here. And I'm going to put some blues in here. So this kind of starts me off on something. and I quite like all that. It's got a little bit of movement in it. I can draw into it a little if I want. But you know, it's my first layer, and I'm just sort of enjoying the process of getting the colour down and seeing what happens. Okay, so that's my first one. As you see, it didn't take long and it's got me started. So now let me go on to my second one. I'm staying with the blues, but let's see what else might happen. I've got paint on here, so what I might do with this, which was different to the other one, is I just might do something here. I'd add a bit of water on this one. You know, we're just playing. I might swap hands. Very different to the last, but remember, we're playing, we're just discovering, exploring, seeing what might happen if, my favourite saying, what might happen if this does or this does. You see how different it can be. Let's add a different blue in. Just very quick, just to, let's see. They're just great ways to start off, get you moving. I'm going to change blue altogether here now. That's a bit lighter. Add some white in. So I've got some thick paint, I've got some thinner paint. Let's make that a bit watery. And see how quick that is. Isn't it fun? Might use a bit of scraper, just here and there. But it's a wonderful way to start your painting. Okay, so that's begun. So now I'm going to go back to the first one. Now it's dried and I'm going to do some more on it. But it's a lovely way to begin to get you loosened up, get you in the zone and see where you want to go. Now this is my way of starting. The colours that I was interested in doing, you know, see what colours you're interested in. But we're doing it on paper. You know, before we go to the canvas, I've got a nice canvas to go to when I'm ready. I just want to get a feel of where I'm going to go with it. So hopefully you can see that. And then this is the first one. So they're very different, even though they're similar colours. And it gives me a feel. Do I want to go in that direction? Do I want to go in that direction? And let's see what's going to happen next. So we'll come back to this. Now it's dried. And, you know, I'm just kind of looking at it and seeing where I might go with it. And it's always good to turn it around so you get another perspective. Turn it round again. And yeah, there's some interesting things happening. I've actually got some wax crayons here. And what I might do is just have a play with, I'm going to go with a green on here. I like green and blue, and just making sure that it's dry. So it's dry, and I've got some wax crayons and I've got some pencils, and I'm going to have a little, you know, just play around with this. I like the green, and you know, there might be just some things I can do with this. And again, you know, I'm just playing and seeing stuff, see what happens. I've got a white crayon. Let's take this one. And, you know, there's some things that I kind of like here. And, you know, one can try all kinds of different things. You know, preparing, so you're loosened up and you know what you want to say in your painting. And you know, this is kind of an interesting subject which I will cover in another video. What is your vision? What is it that you want to express in your pictures? We're not kind of going to do that just now. but it's something, sowing a seed to think about. So I've got some kind of interesting things going on here, which some of it I like and some of it I don't. If I start to look at differences, you know, there are things that are looking the same, which then I can actually purposely change. So I can do that in a number of ways. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my rubber brush here, and I'm going to just put some white on here. And let's see what happens if I put some of this on here. It's kind of a nice effect because it's very different, because it's smooth in comparison to. So that's kind of changed that slightly. I then might get my scraper and just take this across a little. Again, just seeing what might happen. And then maybe I do something down here. I'm going to come across here. And again, it's slightly different. Let's bring it up a bit. Bring this up. Starts to take shape a little. I can do some other things with this. I think I might do something new. Just different effects, seeing what might happen if. And you know, when you're playing like this, you know, a lot of things will just kind of come into your mind. You know, I feel as if I could draw into this a little, make this a little bit different. So when I actually come to do, I'm going to put my end of my brush into the paint, and let's just see, rolling that around. The different effects. So there's kind of quite a lot of stuff going on in here. There's still not a lot of contrast in the colour, and that's what I'd kind of feel I'd like to do now. Is we've got all just kind of blues, purples and whites. So let's throw something else in the mix. And one of the colours I talked about before was green. So I'm going to just see what happens if, let's put some green in, how that might just lift the colour. You see the difference that makes? Let's come up here with green. So I'm getting a different perspective now, just having thrown that colour in. And it starts to become, you know, interesting and something I could work with, you know, when I come to do my canvas. There are still quite a lot of similarities, you know, the sizes of shapes that I could change. So, you know, when I'm coming to do my actual painting, I need to be aware of that. And that's important for you to, when you're doing these, be aware. So you're really looking and seeing and finding those things that are too similar. So this is very similar. Let's make a change up here. Bring that down there. That adds again another dimension. And let's do something here. So again, we're throwing our eye around, it's changing, the differences are changing now, which is great, and it's making a difference. Let's just level that down a little. So we've got some different variation. These two shapes seem the same, even though they're very different textures. I love the texture that's happened with that rubber brush. and I kind of want to feel as if I want to do something in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take most of that off and then just see if I can get something different down here. And I want to sort of reiterate that maybe over here a little. So there's a relationship between them. And again, it's different. It's interesting. Let's kind of see what we can make some changes with here. Maybe go into a darker blue. See what will happen. If we do something like this, bring that down, bring that up. Yep, that's working. Let's do some contrast over here. Again, we're looking for those contrasts, we're looking for differences, we're looking for colour value, translucent and saturated. Let's see, let's bring something down here. Okay, so although I'm staying creative with it, it comes a point then you start to analyze it, I suppose is the right word. You start thinking about the composition and the design and how it's working. See, these two are very the same, so I'm not happy with that. So let's change that. And how I might change that is, let's do something with the purple that's different. Let's bring it round. I'll put a circle in here. Okay, very different. But it's kind of quite close to this colour, so maybe we change that a little. So we'll put something different in here. Maybe bring that out altogether. So I think you're getting the gist of this, that when you're playing, once you've done your play time, then you can start structuring it. Now, another thing that I talked about before in one of the other videos was glazing. So I'm going to do that on the next painting. So I'm going to let this one dry and then come back to it and see. But it's giving me ideas now to translate onto the canvas. To me, at the moment, it's very busy. There's a lot going on, so it would need calming down. If that was on a big painting, you know, I need more calm space. But from doing this, I get that. I can understand that I don't want to make it so busy. Now, this one is very busy, and it's tending to be, although I've got some thicker paint and some thinner paint, the values seem to be sort of quite similar. So what I want to do with this is something a little bit different altogether, and that is I'm going to put a glaze on here. So I'm going to take some orange here, just a bit. It's going to be quite glazy. I might take some of it out, so I'll get another rag ready. And I hope you can see this okay. So let's just rub a little bit of orange into here. See how that suddenly changes? I think we've got like a different dimension with it, with the glaze. And I kind of really like that. Let's do a little bit more. Not too much, because it's making it completely different. Let's bring it round. Yeah, nice. See how that glaze suddenly start to change, and I really enjoy glazing because of these interesting effects, and because the orange is our complementary colour, it gives a new dimension to the whole thing, which is fascinating. So, okay, so I'm enjoying that. Then let's have a play with something else, do something very different to the last one. Again, we're kind of experimenting. Actually, I'm not going to use that brush. Let's use this brush. This is a nice thick rounded edge brush that, I don't know, let's see. Let's see what might happen. Well, okay. It takes on a whole different dimension all of a sudden. So I kind of quite like that. Let's just sharpen that up a bit. Okay. Then, because we put that black on, now let's see what would happen if we put some white on. Not sure about this. Let's take some of that off, put something else in there. Let's do something here. Okay, so you can see how, now I'm kind of going over the glazy bits, how different it starts to become. And how much more we can do. Let me change again the brush. Let's see, what have I got here? Let's try this one. So, you know, trial and error again. Let's see. Oh, make some lines here. I like the orange. And we've got some really nice kind of interesting textures going on. So play, play, play. And so when you actually come to do your actual painting, you can use these on as reference, you know, what worked, what didn't. Let's go all in there. Let's take that round. So it could work, maybe. Just come down here. Let's try something else. Let's put some of this on here. You know, I like this kind of feel because you're getting, you know, whole different kind of textures, and those textures, let's see how interesting that is with the white. Where will it take me? And then what can I embellish? What can I, you know, get rid of? So I think that kind of gives you an idea. So when you come to start your painting, you're sort of already in a zone and you've experienced doing this kind of thing. So let's go back to the other one for a minute. See how different they are and what we can learn from it. You know, when I'm looking at this and looking at that, what I need in here is more white. It's again a little bit flat, so let's try a little bit of that. Where are we? Let's get a flat brush here. So let's see what we could just do with white. I just put some white in here. Oh, yeah, that's better. Let's put some white up here. There's my scraper. Let's take this down a bit. Let's take it across. Take it up. And we could actually go back into here. Let's have a line down here. Where are we? Now, it could be that it's just far too busy and there's too much going on, but it gives us a real idea of all the different things we can do when we come to doing the painting on a canvas. So now I've taken the tape off from the outside, and you can see how different they are and how interesting. And these are just our play ones before we get on to doing the real thing, if you like, on the canvas. But I feel as if, you know, I could do something with these anyway. So in the last video, the number 12 video, I'm going to be doing the demonstration actually on the canvas. So I hope you'll have a little play doing this, having your idea about your painting, what you want to paint, exploring all the different ideas that we've covered in this mini course on all the different possibilities, you know, from our drawing to our colours, our colour mixing, and, you know, doing the saturation, having the contrast, composition, etc. And have a play with this, see what you come up with, and then that prepares you for doing an actual painting on a canvas. So I shall look forward to seeing you on the next video, number 12. But do leave me a comment, tell me how you feel about this process, or let me know what your process is. This is mine. I mean, you might just dive in straight to a canvas, but I kind of like to explore first before I begin. And, you know, I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts about how you feel about this. And if you like this video, give me the thumbs up and press the notification bell for the next videos. And all the links to the rest of the course are down below. So I look forward to seeing you very soon with the next video. Take care and happy painting. Bye for now.